So when I think about, my advice to an organization that's looking at open source and thinking about a business is you have to be situationally aware. Understanding from the get-go what the relative trade-offs are associated with technology like Kubernetes. Kubernetes, in the form of this open community effort, certainly garnered just a tremendous amount of support. But it would have been formidably difficult to generate a commercial model around, were I a little company like a Docker or a Mesos or others. So the advice I'd give to aspiring startup founders and open source individuals is understand the difference between an engaged end user community and an engaged committer community. And each of those has utility. It's entirely possible to create an incredibly engaged and powerful end user community without necessarily having to go down the path of taking a piece of technology to a software foundation, etc. If that's your ambition, you can do that. And there's plenty of prior art in the ecosystem of organizations that have created successful businesses that's really just grounded in single vendor open source by really focusing and harnessing the strength of an engaged end user community. Now, if you want to create a technology that becomes a basis for subsequent innovation, that becomes a de facto standard, that ultimately garners a rich ecosystem of innovation on top of it, you really do need to go open community. But recognize that you can always move in one direction, you can always go more open, but you can never go back. And the one thing I would say is just wear your heart on your sleeve. Be upfront with what you're looking to accomplish. Really think through what are your needs from a business perspective, and be authentic about it. If you're a single vendor open source project, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're upfront that you are a single vendor open source project, that you are going to be doing all the chopping wood and carrying water, and you will be responsible for the set of experiences that end users will be looking to accomplish. The key thing is not to vacillate. Just know your direction, make it clear, and then have a plan to commercialize. Never launch something without a very clear plan to commercialize in the back end.